What do you think my next 9-hole score will be, considering that I have regularly played golf for about 45 months? My best score ever is a 46. My worst score ever is an 80. Think about it, remember your answer, maybe write it down. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. What's up, everyone? My name is Jacob Smith, and I'm going to be talking to you about the art of predicting. Okay, so maybe not the art of predicting, but rather the literary practice of predicting and the use of predicting in the classroom. Now, before I get into that, I should clarify what exactly is predicting. In the regular sense, predicting is the act of making a guess or estimate about something that will take place or be revealed in the future. In the classroom sense, predicting holds the same definition, and it opens the door to a number of benefits for students. Before I get to that, let me just talk about the commonality of predicting and predictions. Predicting is all around us, and predicting is all around us, and it's all around you, whether you realize it or not. Here is a not complete but still notable list of ways we see and use predicting all the time. Gambling, including but not limited to casinos, sports betting, and card games. Fantasy football, fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball, fantasy everything, including but not limited to fan fiction and fan theories. Also, reality competition shows that include fan voting. Speaking of voting, the election. I'm sure you all saw and are still seeing plenty of predictions about the election. Last but not least, The Price is Right. I could go on, but I think you get the point. Predictions and predicting, it's all around us, and that can include in the classroom. Why is that important for us? What use do predictions have in the classroom? I am glad that you asked. A big reason why predictions are useful in the classroom is because they can help students become more engaged with the discipline. For example, take a student like me who likes to find a way to stand out in a classroom, but maybe not often doing so through knowing all of the class content super well. If I was in a class where we were about to read a story, say Shakespeare's Hamlet, that I was not interested in, if I was in a class where we were about to read a story, say Shakespeare's Hamlet, that I was not interested in based on the title, cover, backstory, or anything else, I might not exactly participate in all of the reading for the story. However, say the teacher gave us a sheet before we began reading the book and asked us to predict how Hamlet and Ophelia's relationship would turn out in the end. Then say maybe the teacher gave us the same sheet about halfway through the book and also mentioned that no student in her class last year had been able to give an accurate prediction. All of a sudden, I know I am thinking extra hard about whatever I know about this book, whatever we have read so far in class, what I know about Shakespeare's stories, what I know about plot structure, and all other sorts of things within the discipline. If you are like me, you want to be that one student who gets their prediction right. If that's not your desire, perhaps you would still like to see how close you can get to correctly predicting something you have not learned yet. Now, when the class goes to read parts about Hamlet that include Hamlet and Ophelia, they are more engaged, more intrigued to see what happens because they want to see how their prediction played out. In reality, they are seeing how their prediction played out, but they are also reading the text more closely, participating in class discussions more about the text, participating in class discussions about the text more, and basically interacting and paying more attention. Now, what are some other ways we can use predictions in the classroom? Let's go over a few examples. A KWL chart. Many of you have probably used, read, or heard about a KWL chart or some form of it. With a KWL chart, when faced with an upcoming assignment, unit, or text, a student writes down what they know already about the topic in the K column, what they want to know about the topic in the W column, and then what they learned about the topic after a period of time in the L column. The key here is the W column, as this gives students a place to put down some predictions they might have about the topic at hand. Next, a prediction bookmark. You can have students use a little slice of paper that has their predictions on it as a bookmark for whatever book they are reading or using in class. You can even have it so students check or cross off predictions they get right or wrong. Next, character charts. If you are using character charts to keep track of all of the characters and their traits in a text, you can keep a prediction box next to the characters for students to look at as they go through a text. Next, bell ringers. If you are tackling a new topic in class, you can use a bell ringer to have students quickly take a guess about the new topic. You You can use a bell ringer to have students quickly take a guess about the new topic that they are going to be learning about that day. You can use a bell ringer to have students quickly take a guess about the new topic they are going to learn about that day. It gets students thinking about the topic right away, and you haven't even really done any teaching yet. Now, back to that question I had for you in the beginning of this presentation. Why did I ask you that question? Well, chances are... Now, back to that golf question I had for you in the beginning of this presentation. Why did I ask you that question? Well, chances are, if I brought up the fact that I am obsessed with golf to you, and I started talking about my golf play, you might be like my girlfriend and just start tuning out of the conversation. However, when I add a little bit of background information, put the power in your hands, and ask you to predict how well I'm going to do in my next round of golf, chances are you are more interested in me talking about golf. Maybe I have you interested not just in my next score, but how I got my best score, my worst score, or what I am doing to try and get better. By asking you to make a prediction, I am getting you, or at least trying to, which is still very important, to interact more with the discipline at hand. This is the main point of my presentation regarding predictions. Also, by the way, my next score of golf ended up with a score of 60.